We want to talk with you about the books that feed your imagination and the vices that spark your soul.
We drink, we curse, we read things. Come sit by us. Expect no judgment, just good times.
Welcome to Paper and Vices. Books reviewed, vices indulged.
Mature content warning.
I am Victoria Pirate.
And I am Lee Vices. I was like really quickly trying to think of something clever, and I was like, you know what? This is going to go poorly. I'm just going to say what I normally say.
I am drinking rum out of a skull shot glass. I call pirate.
Arr.
Arr. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
It's actually going pretty good. Like, I had a good day. Don't tell the universe.
So your Kraken is celebratory.
My Kraken is the healthier choice because I was gonna make another latte, but it's already after 9 p.m. and I didn't want to stay up all night.
Gotcha.
So the booze is the healthier choice.
Yes. Yeah, it's all about balance. You have your uppers and then your downers. It's all good.
And it is downer time, ladies, gents, and theys. It is downer time.
You're here.
The Cookie Fairy ain't visited me in a while, so we're on to alcohol.
Yes.
How was your week?
It's been pretty good. So I've been I had surgery last Friday. I had some veins removed, and I was like, what's the name of that procedure again? So it's an ablation, which is where they like basically cauterize the vein, and then the phlebectomy is where they take the veins out.
A phlebectomy?
So, yes.
That's amazing. These procedures are like the kind of shit you do not know about when you're 26. They're not on your horizon. Why is that a thing someone would have surgery for? This is grown-up girl time.
Right? Well, it's interesting because I remember my dad had the surgery when, like, he's had it done twice, but when he had it done like 20 years ago or something, he said that like the doctors made him like put him on bed rest for 2 whole weeks after.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm just like, I'm on day, like tomorrow will be exactly a week, but I've just been dealing with like this, just knowing that I'm going to have to like sit down. So like they want me up and moving because they want the blood flowing. So as long as I'm not doing any strenuous exercise, like I'm fine for the next 2 weeks, but they want me up and moving. So I'm up and moving.
They know you have a toddler, right?
They do.
Like having a toddler is strenuous exercise.
Yeah. I might have said something like that. He's like, you're fine. I was like, all right. So, although my mom yelled at me when I picked my toddler up, like right when I walked in the door from the surgery, she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I don't know. Apparently, not picking up my child. It's okay.
Habits. I'm doing habits.
Exactly. But today was my first day that I was like fully up, and like I didn't sit down until now, and so it's been good. I've only felt it like the past like hour. So it's definitely progress. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So I can't imagine like bed rest for 2 weeks. That'd go crazy. But anyway.
You wouldn't. You just wouldn't bed rest for 2 weeks.
No. What is that?
I can't. You're way too 7 for 2 weeks of bed rest. They would have to drug you.
They would.
You would get like 72 hours and then be like, body, are you done yet? I'm over this shit.
Yeah. Fuck this. I'm gonna go into depression mode right now. Like I can't. I have to move.
We were all super grateful that none of your babies were C-sections.
Yes. Oh man.
So I'm drinking rum. What are you drinking?
I went with the good old Apothic Cabernet.
Nice.
Yeah, just classic. It's good stuff. But
spicy juice,
yes.
What are you reading? I ask as she takes a sip of wine like the good friend I am.
It's all good. I actually finished up, finally, 3 years later, I finished up Legendborn.
Nice.
While I was recuperating this week, and it was really good. It's funny because there was a part like 4 chapters from the end, and I remember thinking, like, I was mad at the author's choice of like when the reaction of the main character. I was just like, I was like, really? Like,
ooh, that's a feeling.
No. Yeah, it is a feeling, but at the same time, I think that is my fault because I did that whole thing where I read ahead. Like, I skipped, like, I was at the beginning of the book and I skipped and read like a couple pages. So, like, already in my head, I had something going.
Ah.
So I can't say it's the author's fault. I think that one is on me, to be fair. And then, so there's that part. And then I got to the end, like the last couple chapters, and there's just this total twist. Like, I did not see it coming at all.
Like, is there a sequel coming up kind of twist, or does it tie it up?
Yeah, there's a sequel coming out, and it's being released, I think, in November of this year.
Do they make books without sequels anymore? Neil Gaiman does, but does anyone else? Okay.
I don't think so. But yeah, I'm excited for it to come out because it's been a while since I've been, well, I guess the whole the education series had a similar effect.
Yeah, but that wasn't unexpected. That was very, of all the choices we saw coming.
Yeah.
Fuck that one, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Boys are dumb.
That they are. That's okay. Can't live without them. I guess you could. Me. I said it and I'm like, well.
I mean, mine is nice. But I'm not sharing him, so meh.
Yeah. Meh. Yep. So
anyway.
Yeah, what are you reading?
Our taxes. Does that count? Like, I was thinking about what I've actually read this week, and I was like, Paper and Vice's tax forms. All of our receipts. So many receipts. My husband's W-2. Neat. Actually, I did finish Hunt the Stars by Jessie Mahalik. It was really good. Like, totally. So the in love in a spaceship trope is like my thing. Like, slow burn, enemies to lovers. Although this wouldn't really be slow burn. Enemies to lovers in a spaceship with, a human either from like vastly different backgrounds, humans, or a human and technically not a human alien, but it's always mentioned that we're genetically related a couple thousand years ago.
Yeah.
So a human and an extra pretty human. And it was really good. The side characters were pretty well developed without overtaking the plot, which is nice. She definitely set things up for a second book. In fact, it's already been announced. Like, there's a release date for the second book in the series. But the main characters still got together by the end. So that, like, there's satisfaction, but the political plot is interesting and was plot twisty enough that I was like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely, like, reading this more. So that was really cool. It was very enjoyable. And then I went and downloaded Polaris Rising, which is her last series, and it's the first book of that series.
Is this your first time reading her? Or her?
This book, Hunt the Stars, was my first time reading her, but I went and downloaded another one of her books within 24 hours of finishing the last. So
gotcha. Yeah, very cool. It's always nice to find like a new author that you just love their style and their vibe, and you're just like, yay, fresh blood. I love it.
Yes. Yeah. So she has 6 other books out that it'll take me at least a month. So that's great. Yeah.
What's her name again? Jessie
Mahalik?
Jessie Mahalik.
I hope I'm saying that right. Mahalik. How else would you say that?
No, that's probably Mahalik.
Yeah. I'm really bad with names. I am definitely the person that meme was made for. Like, if someone says a word incorrectly, don't judge them for it because it means they learned it by reading. Except with me, that force is 3 times as powerful with names.
And then you get the audiobook and the narrator says the
and
name,
you're like, the fuck?
What?
Like,
you're like,
okay.
who?
Laying it out there.
Yeah.
I've been reading these words for years. My brain did not process that rivulets and rivulets were different words until I was listening to an audiobook in fucking October. Like, in the year of our Lord, Pandemic Mark II, rivulets was just there. And I was like, that's not right. And I literally, the next time I pulled the car over at a rest stop, because it was when I was on my way to vacation with you and the Valkyrie, I Googled it, and I was like in the middle of BFE, North Carolina, and I was like, I am the biggest dumbass in the world. Okay, rivulets. That's a thing. There are good and bad ways to homeschool your children. Y'all can guess which way my parents went, like, just saying. I can read, though. Sort of ish. Anyway, Jessie Mahalik.
Yes.
Gonna be reading a lot of her stuff. She may become one of those. I have a couple authors that when they release something new, I buy it, even if I don't read it right then.
Yeah.
Jeffe Kennedy. There's a series of hers that I'm like 2 books behind on. I don't even remember the name of it. I bought them. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a shifter romance magic thing that's set in the universe of one of her earlier series that was really good. And I also know that when I start reading them again, I'm just going to sit down and binge them.
Yes.
It's not her Bright Familiar series, but that one comes out before March, the 3rd one, which I'm really, really excited for. Like, whatever she writes, I'm just like, yeah, screw it. I'm buying this. I was looking over something like in December. I was looking for one of her books specifically because I couldn't remember the title, and she had like a vampire thing from earlier in her career that I had not downloaded, and I was like, well, gotta do this. Gotta have the complete collection on my little electric book. Haley Edwards falls into that category. Shannon Mayer falls into that category. The woman that did The Darkest Dray and is now doing A Court of Honey and Ash with Shannon Mayer.
It's hold on. I can tell you. I actually didn't finish that. I'm like I keep the poor Darkest Dray series just keeps getting shoved to like the bottom of my list.
Kelly St. Clair. I wanted her to call her Claire Kelly, and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah.
Kelly St. Clair is another one that if I see something new she's written, I'll buy it. So occasionally my TBR list gets a little long in the tooth, just because these are authors that, like, I believe in their work. I believe in their worlds. I believe in their stories. And I will give them $3.50 every time they put something out to keep their light bulbs and their laptops on.
Yep.
Alona Andrews obviously is bae. Grace Draven, Haley Edwards, and I think Jessie Mahalik might be the next inductee into that list. So
that's awesome. Well, and you never know when you're going to get stuck in one of those ruts where you're like, I can't find anything that I want to read. Oh, hey, look, I have this stack of things that I know are going to be amazing reads.
Yes.
You just grab from them.
Almost everyone on my auto buy list has a book or two that I will reread when I just need comfort. Like, I need stories, but we all enjoy being told our favorite stories more than once. And so, like, being on that list it's good to have that stack of new reads when you've just like got too many choices and you don't know what to get into, or you're sitting in the car line and you don't want to listen to a podcast, and so you're like, yay, I have books. But it's also really good to have them for when, although I guess this applies to books you have read and haven't, when you're in a place that's hard and you need to be in a world where you understand what the stakes are. Like, I know in the Kate Daniels world how bad it can get so far. Like, I know that. I also know how hard the characters will fight and how hard they will hold their integrity, no matter what, because of that. And so, those kind of authors, it's not just I really like them. Obviously I do. I'm very picky about world building and character development and how you use your goddamn dialogue tags. But it's also knowing the author's voice to a point that even though this is a new story and I'm excited to go on this adventure, I trust where you're going to take me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Totally. Yeah.
So that's where the rum and I are tonight.
What about your vices?
Dude. Okay. So my skin is hot trash, depending on the day of the week, where I am in my cycle, what house the 7th moon of Venus is in. I have eczema. I've been really blessed for most of my life with it, but it's gotten worse over the last 2.5 years. I don't know what might have happened to make me a little stressed. So there was, remember like years ago when Sephora had that overnight avocado mask?
Yes.
And it was my favorite shit ever. I think it was both of our favorite shits ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stopped making it because there's no justice in the world. And it was this great, like, when your skin was angry, you could use it when you were sunburned, you could use it when you were broken out. And it was basically like telling your skin to go smoke a joint. And when you woke up in the morning, it was calm. It wouldn't be like magically healed or anything, but it was calm. And you didn't have like face dandruff.
You weren't on fire.
Yeah, you weren't on fire. You could touch your face without screaming that you weren't supposed to touch your face that week. And then they stopped making it. And I went to this mask by Origins, which was avocado and glacier water. And it was okay. It was like 87 times the cost. Like it's like $40 for a small tube.
Ugh.
And it wasn't great, but it worked better than anything else I had found to that point that wasn't the discontinued mask.
Mm-hmm.
And I used that very sparingly over a couple years. And Burt's Bees, I had not tried their face stuff in a few years, and they have upped their game. I haven't tried their face wash, but their sensitive overnight cream is awesome. Their face oil with cotton extract is awesome. I will use those. I'll use the oil, I'll wait a few minutes, and then I use the cream, because if your skin's super dry, you know how it works. You do the oil, and then you wait, and then you do the cream.
Yep.
They came out with this hydrating overnight mask with avocado oil and probiotics. First of all, for 2.5 ounces, it is $15 at Target, which,
nice.
Yeah, this is the shit.
Okay, I am going to have to buy some.
Amazing. My skin was having a day, and so I washed my face and I got out of the shower, and because I wanted to give it and I washed my face right before I get out of the shower, because I don't want to be in the shower after I've washed my face, because that can dry you out too. And I patted off my face, and I didn't put oil on because I wanted to see what it was going to do, but I put on a little bit more than a thin layer, and I come back and I check in 10 minutes and my skin has drank all of it up. I didn't rub it in. I just put it on thinly and my skin had drank all of it up, and I was like, this feels amazing. And the reason I remembered to go look in the mirror was because it didn't hurt.
Oh.
So my vice this week is the $14.99 Burt's Bees Hydrating Overnight Mask.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that is the shit. I am very much considering putting some on my hands before bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. It's funny that you mentioned that as your vice, because I have something very similar.
We did not pre-plan this because we've had no time to talk this week.
We haven't. Just like little, hey, are you still alive? Yep. Okay.
Good morning. Here's my Carlene rant. I love you. Bye.
Yep. Exactly. Right before my surgery, I stayed up until 2 a.m, just pampering I pulled out the masks that were in my stocking. I don't remember what they were. Something from Target, you know how Target has the little bins now that has little pre-packages. And then I had a foot mask where you put your foot in a sock, like a plastic sock, and then we have a bunch of aloe plants outside. So my husband chopped up like some aloe, and I poured some honey in there, and then I just like soaked my hand in aloe and honey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's like bath salt, like all the spa things.
Nice.
Yeah. And then before that, actually that morning, I had gone to I have like 80 million packages from a massage place that I just haven't used in 2 years. My therapist, she looks at me, she's like, so you haven't had a massage in like 2 years? I'm like, no, I don't think so. Like, I don't think I've been.
We even talked about you going and doing the sensitive skin microdermabrasion thing with one of your packages.
Yes.
I'm just going to start making your appointments and be like, hey, you got to go.
Yep. Well, I did meet somebody that I think I'm going to like schedule a facial with her because she was really good. But
nice.
Yeah. So all the pampering, I was like, I'm getting ready to go under for a little while. So let me do the pampering.
Well, and like, not just that, like you've just been super busy with your children lately. And like everybody else's, not just your kids, just like everybody else's stuff.
Yeah. Lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it was glad you got to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my other advice this week, I'm totally going to date this episode. I have to tell you, there was squealing with delight in my house because the final Jurassic World trailer was released today and it opens with parasaurs running across a field.
Oh. I bet
Parasaur
you were like...
being the dinosaur skull I have tattooed on most of my left forearm.
Yes.
I was so happy.
That's awesome.
It was nice. And then, not gonna spoil it, but there's one dinosaur at the end that's like accurate to the fossil record, and I was just squealing. Ah! Well, accurate in one of its evolutionary developments, I should say. And my husband, who watched it before me, is just upstairs laughing at me. I don't care. So yeah, good shit. That's my other advice. I'm probably gonna watch it 57 times this week, and that's okay.
When does the movie come out?
July.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to wait too long. That'll be here tomorrow.
And I have I think 3 or 4 T-Rexes that and a Velociraptor or a few that he's bought me over the years on top of my tall bookshelf in my room.
Yes.
But I'm really hoping that there's some officially licensed Jurassic World, Jurassic Park Parasaur merchandise because of this movie. Because the only Parasaur thing I have other than my tattoo is the necklace you gave me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Parasaurs are like awesome, but they're not as like popular as like the T-Rexes, so they're harder to find.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was just so happy.
I was like, she's gone to a happy place in her head.
Yeah, I have a place where you can pet parasaurs. I'll be back. Yeah, that's pretty much it for us this week, isn't it? Did we do all the things?
We've done all the things.
Cool. You can find us everywhere online at Paper and Vices, except TikTok, because we are old and the world no longer belongs to us. You can email us, Lee at Paper and Vices or Victoria at Paper and Vices. We have a Patreon where we do behind the scenes stuff.
Well, in the meantime, don't be an asshole, smoke a joint, and take care of yourself.
This has been a production of Paper and Vices, LLC. Copyright 2022. This episode is presented for entertainment purposes only, and any vice should only be pursued within the legal boundaries, common sense, and personal responsibility of each person. Please check your local laws and do not engage in any form of bitchassery. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the individual hosts and guests only, and do not in any way represent the views of Paper and Vices, LLC, nor any named persons, nor should they be considered personal, medical, or legal advice. Previous episodes and other commentary can be found at paperandvices.com and patreon.com/paperandvices.